Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm John.
And I'm Tiffany.
And we are the Morse Global Finance Podcast team.
That's right.
All right, so Tiffany, I understand that you've been doing a deep dive
Yes, I have.
into gold IRAs.
Yes,
Specifically, Augusta Precious Metals and Birch Gold Group.
that's right.
Trying to decide between those two for managing your retirement investments.
That's exactly right.
And, both those companies have a lot of positive buzz out there.
I do.
So we're going to try and help you and our listeners figure out which one is right for them.
Sounds good.
You've been doing some serious homework on this.
Yeah, I've been trying to, read up as much as I can.
And it's smart to be thorough because this is a really important decision.
It is.
A gold IRA can be a great way to diversify your portfolio, especially with all the, economic uncertainty we're seeing right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, you highlighted some concerns about inflation eating away at your savings.
Yeah.
And you're not quite sure what the stock market will do next. So, it seems like you're looking for that safe haven asset that can weather the storm, and that's where gold often comes in.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is that gold tends to have this inverse relationship with the stock market.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when stocks go down, gold often goes up and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So by adding gold to your portfolio, you're essentially creating like a counterbalance
I see.
that can potentially help stabilize your returns overall.
Okay, so let's kind of unpack that a little more.
Okay.
It's not that gold is guaranteed to make you rich,
Right.
but it can act as a buffer against losses in other areas.
Think of it like an insurance policy in
Okay.
your investments.
Okay.
It might not always deliver the highest returns, but it can help protect you from major downturns, especially if you're nearing retirement and can't afford to take big risks.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these two companies you've been researching.
Okay.
We've got Augusta Precious Metals, founded in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
They're based in Casper, Wyoming, and they're known for their transparency and a strong focus on educating their clients.
Yes. And that educational aspect is huge.
Oh, really?
I mean, you highlighted some of the materials in your notes.
Yeah.
And it's clear they go beyond the basics. They really delve into the history of gold market dynamics and different investment strategies.
So it seems like they're not just trying to sell you gold.
Yeah.
They want you to understand it.
Absolutely.
Like how it fits into your broader financial plan.
I love that because investing shouldn't be a blind leap of faith. It should
no.
be about making informed decisions based on knowledge and understanding.
Now, on the other hand, we've got Birch Gold Group,
Okay.
established in 2003, headquartered in Burbank, California.
All right.
Now they seem to emphasize choice, offering a wider range of metals,
Mm-hmm.
not just gold, but also silver, platinum, and palladium.
That's right.
And it's interesting you noted their expertise in handling 401k rollovers
Yeah.
into gold IRAs.
Yes.
So if you're thinking of moving funds from your existing retirement account,
Mm-hmm.
they can make that transition a lot smoother.
Potentially.
Yeah. So from your research, it looks like both companies offer the standard services.
Uh-huh.
Setting up your gold IRA, managing buybacks, handling rollovers from traditional IRAs,
Mm-hmm.
and even selling you physical metals if you want to hold them outside of an IRA.
That's right.
But where things start to get really interesting is when we look at their fee structures and minimum investment requirements.
That's where the rubber meets the road, right?
All right, so let's talk money.
Okay, let's do it.
Augusta's minimum investment is $50,000,
Right.
which includes a one-time setup fee of $250.
Okay.
Then there's a $100 custodian fee and a $100 depository fee for the first year.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it's $100 annually for the custodian and another $100 for storage.
Okay, so Birch has a lower minimum, just $10,000 to get started.
Okay.
But they have a $50 account opening fee,
Oh.
a $30 wire transfer fee,
Mm-hmm.
$100 per year for storage and insurance, and another $100 for account management.
Wow, that's a lot of fees.
It is potentially a lot of little fees adding up.
Yeah, but hold on. There's a little more to the Birch fee structure.
Oh, okay.
They waive those first-year fees if you invest over $50,000.
Okay.
And after that first year, regardless of how much you have invested, it becomes a flat annual fee of $200.
Okay, so it's a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah.
With Augusta, you're paying a premium for that higher level of service and in-depth education.
Yeah.
With Birch, you can get in the door with a smaller investment, but those fees could potentially eat into your returns, especially in the long run.
Especially in the long run. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we need to dig a little deeper into those fee structures to
Yeah.
see how they actually play out over time.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do that, I'm really curious.
Oh, yeah.
about what other people are saying about these companies.
Okay.
You pulled up some customer reviews, right?
I have, and it's clear that both Augusta and Birch have a lot of happy customers, but there's some nuances in those reviews that I think are worth highlighting.
Okay, great. So let's dive into that. Okay, great. So let's dive into that.
Yeah.
What really stood out to me in these customer reviews was the talk about Augusta's customer service.
Oh, yeah.
People are raving about their patient and knowledgeable staff.
Yeah.
They really seem to go the extra mile to make sure you understand what you're getting into.
You know, that's a key point, John. It echoes their focus on investor education. They're not just facilitating transactions.
Yeah.
They're building relationships and empowering their clients to make smart decisions.
And in the long run,
Yeah.
that personalized service could be invaluable.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm seeing some comments here about how Augusta's team takes the time to answer questions,
Yeah.
no matter how basic. Some people even mention feeling like they finally get gold
Oh, wow.
after talking to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the power of good communication. You know, they're demystifying a complex topic
right.
and building trust. You know, it reminds me of something you mentioned in your notes. You were a little unsure about the role of custodians and depositories in a gold IRA.
I was.
Did you find that Augusta's materials cleared that up for you?
They did. It was like one of those aha moments where it all clicked.
Nice.
They explained how the custodian holds the IRA paperwork and ensures everything is legally compliant,
Okay.
while the depository is the secure vault where your physical gold is stored.
Gotcha. So it's those little details that can make a big difference, especially when you're dealing with something as important as your retirement savings.
Exactly.
So let's flip over to Birch. What are their customers highlighting?
Well, a lot of people are praising Birch for how easy they make the whole process.
Okay.
They seem to have a really streamlined system for opening accounts, funding them, and choosing your metals.
Yeah, that ease of use can be really appealing, especially if you're not super tech savvy or just want to get things done quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're getting high marks for their knowledgeable agents who are readily available to answer questions. Yeah. But I did notice a few negative reviews that mentioned feeling pressured by Birch's sales team.
Oh, that's an important point to consider, John. While some people might appreciate a more proactive approach, others might feel uncomfortable with aggressive sales tactics. It's all about personal preference.
And it's worth noting that you are someone who likes to take your time with financial decisions. Carefully weigh all the options and really understand what you're getting into.
I do.
So that's something to keep in mind as you evaluate these two companies.
Absolutely. Now, another area you highlighted in your research was the different types of gold investments you can hold within an IRA. Were there any specific strategies you were leaning towards?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a little risk averse.
Okay.
So the idea of diversifying within the gold IRA itself really intrigued me.
Yep.
Birch's wider selection of metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, seems like it could offer more flexibility in that regard.
That's a valid point, John. If spreading your risk within the precious metals market is important to you, Birch might be a better fit.
Okay.
However, we should also consider the potential for fees to erode those gains over time, especially with their tiered fee structure.
Good point. So let's say I invest $50,000 with Augusta. I'm paying $350 in fees that first year.
Okay.
And then $200 every year after that. It's clear and predictable.
Yeah.
With Birch, I could potentially get those first-year fees waived, but then I'm locked into that $200 annual fee, even if my account grows significantly.
Now that raises an important question. What happens if you decide to sell some of your gold down the line? Are there any additional fees associated with buybacks?
Let me see. Yes, both companies do offer buyback programs.
Okay.
Which is good to know.
That's good.
But it looks like the specific fees associated with selling your gold can vary depending on market conditions and the amount you're selling.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's always wise to inquire about those potential exit fees up front so you're not caught off guard later on.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about why you're considering a gold IRA in the first place, the key differences between Augusta Precious Metals and Birch Gold Group.
Yeah.
Their fee structures, what their customers are saying, and even some of the nuances of holding different metals within an IRA.
We've also talked about the importance of understanding those seemingly small details, like the roles of custodians and depositories, and the potential for hidden fees to impact your returns.
It's clear that both companies have their pros and cons, and the best choice for you will depend on your individual needs and priorities as an investor.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to investing.
Right.
But hopefully this deep dive has given you the knowledge and confidence to make an informed decision.
All right, Tiffany, expert opinion time.
Okay.
Put on your analyst hat and tell us, what are your takeaways from all this research?
Well, John, it's a close call.
Okay.
Both companies are reputable, well-established, and have a proven track record. But based on everything we've discussed and what I'm seeing in your research,
Yeah.
I think Augusta Precious Metals might be a particularly strong fit for you.
Really? Why do you say that Birch's lower minimum investment and diverse metal options were really tempting?
I understand that, but remember how you mentioned being a bit risk-averse and wanting to take your time with financial decisions?
Yeah.
That's where Augusta's emphasis on education really shines.
You've definitely pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
How thorough their materials are. They don't just tell you what to invest in, they explain why.
Exactly. And that knowledge can be your most powerful asset, especially in a market as nuanced as precious metals.
Yeah, it's clear I value understanding the why behind the investment, and that's something Augusta seems to prioritize.
Yeah, and there were a few times when I felt a little lost in my research. I had to do a lot of Googling to understand some of the terminology and concepts.
Right.
But Augusta's materials seem to anticipate those questions and explain things in a way that made sense.
Yeah, they did.
That's the hallmark of a company that genuinely cares about empowering its clients. They're not just trying to make a quick sale, they're building long-term relationships based on trust and understanding.
And I'm also remembering those customer reviews that talked about Augusta's patient and knowledgeable staff.
Yes.
It sounds like they're willing to walk you through the process, answer all your questions, and make sure you feel comfortable with your decisions.
Precisely. It's like having a trusted guide in your corner, helping you navigate the complexities of the gold IRA world.
Yeah.
And given your preference for taking a cautious and informed approach to investing, that level of personalized support could be invaluable.
Now, this isn't to say that Birch is a bad choice.
Oh, no, not at all.
They clearly have a lot to offer, especially if you're looking for a wider range of metals.
Yeah.
Or need help rolling over funds from a 401k.
Absolutely. And their streamlined process and knowledgeable agents are definitely strong points. However, those potentially higher fees and reports of aggressive sales tactics are something to consider carefully given your personality and investing style.
Okay, so the big takeaway here is that there's no right answer for everyone.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the company that best aligns with your individual needs, risk tolerance, and investment goals.
Couldn't have said it better myself. John, the most important thing is to do your due diligence.
Right.
Ask tough questions and choose a company that you feel confident and comfortable working with.
So to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive into Augusta Precious Metals and Birch Gold Group has provided you with valuable insights as you continue your research.
Remember, knowledge is power, and taking the time to understand your options is the best way to protect your financial future.
And if you're still feeling unsure, remember that both companies offer free consultations. Talk to their representatives, get a feel for their approach, and see which one resonates with you on a personal level.
Investing is a journey, not a sprint. Take your time, make informed decisions, and don't be afraid to seek guidance from trusted experts along the way.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for sharing your expertise with us today, Tiffany.
Always a pleasure, John.
And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We're here to help you navigate the complex world of finance and make smart choices for your future. Until next time, stay curious,